That's a good question. I mean, I think all writers want readers to be entertained and they want people to be moved. I mean, one of the things that drew me to this to write this book is that I really like to read about complicated characters. Like, I don't want to read about a villain who's a true villain. I wouldn't want to read about a hero who's just like the pure good hero. So I think what I would like readers to take away from this is that, like I said, I really like character-driven stories, and I like a character that kind of stays with a person, and you kind of think about their motivations, and you think about why they chose the things they have chosen. And I think in many ways, those type of characters kind of build empathy with readers. So I guess people maybe take a little bit of Wanda with them and wonder, think about um, how maybe they would, if you put yourself in someone else's position or her position, how they would go through her scenario. Well, it's very much close to the neighborhood I live in. I mean, I love St. John's, and there's, I want almost to make some aspects of St. John's like a character. The weather here changes constantly, and so it's very easy to kind of match, emotions with what's going on inside when you're writing, which is can be quite believable in St. John's because it does fluctuate so much. Um, I think also where it is a harbor town, and Newfoundland's an island, St. John's is a harbor town. There is kind of I like being able, sometimes I think about how landscape kind of affects the way you approach the world. And there is something about living on an island or living close to the water where you can see where things end. So I kind of wanted that in part of, the background of characters and kind of maneuvering in this town. Like there's a moment where I think Wanda's she's in a bad mood. She's walking down to the ship to get a drink, and she can hear the foghorn playing in the background, which is this kind of, if you've ever heard, it's just, well, this is this kind of melancholy kind of groaning in the background. It kind of fits, the way she's feeling. There's a line that I use at the beginning of one of the chapters where Wanda's hungover and she wakes up, and it was something that my sister said years ago that it stuck with me. But it just starts off, it says, Wanda was in a pile all morning. And I remember my sister saying that one time we were talking about a friend who'd been out last night before, whooping it up. It was like, oh, well, we haven't heard from her yet today. She's like, oh, and my sister said, oh my God, no, she's in a pile today. So I like that line just because it kind of I just thought it was descriptive enough, and it had the brevity that I liked for that particular description.